If it's true that a rich man leads a sad life, and that's what they, from day to day, then what do all the poor do with their lives? Have nothing to say on Judgment Day? I've been beaten up, I've been thrown out, but I'm not down. I'm not down. I've been shown up, but I've grown up, and I'm not down. I'm not down. Welcome to Nerds Gone Rogue, episode 162. My name is Matthew. I got two lovely gentlemen with me. Moose, how are you? Fantastic. Corey, how you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for asking, Matt. I appreciate you.
Awesome.
Matt, I appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You look good today.
Yeah.
Your hair looks good.
I feel all right.
Your headset looks good. You look good today. Proud of you.
Cool. Awesome. I'm trying. You set a high bar. I'm just trying to reach it.
I had tripped over the bar I set, so that's why it's so low. So, oh no, Moose is gone.
He's coming back.
He's coming back. His squares are back.
I'm going to try and introduce him again. Moose, how are you, sir?
Doing well. How
Cool.
are you?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Because I said hi to you earlier, and you just went silent. I'm like, great.
If you look at the YouTube chat, you'd see it. I'm going to turn my camera off because I think it's fucking things
Okay.
up. But like every other word of your intro,
Oh,
so I'm
I
trying to
have
get
it
it
on the window.
to where I can
Fair.
hear you, where I can
Okay. No, that's
So-
fine.
to have a conversation. Although now it's doing pretty well, so I'm gonna leave the camera off. I got to figure out my internet, figure what's going on with it. But it was fine before I left for Atlanta, and I come home and it's all shit. Like I'm getting dropped out of parties on PSN like randomly, my own parties. And then my wife was telling me that she's having problems with her, with what she's doing on her phone, watching shows and playing her mobile game. She's like, everything, I get dropped from the game like all the time. And I'm like, all right. So I reset the router, all that stuff. And apparently I'm still having issues. So anyways, it's going to be a struggle bus until I can get that figured out.
We're happy you're here.
Anyways, I'm doing fine.
Cool. Find what we do at nerdsgonerogue.com. We have a Discord channel. Look for us at Nerds Gone Rogue. Twitter at Nerds Gone Rogue. Instagram at NerdsGoneRogue_official. And listen to our network of shows, our ever-growing network of shows, our vast network of this.
Our vast ocean of mediocrity keeps growing. Am I right?
Yeah. This, the NX show, Nerds Gone Platinum, and is Palblock back now? Because I'm confused, Corey. Explain this to me.
Why are you confused?
Okay, so because it was my understanding that Palblock was gone.
It was gone
for the NX show.
It was.
Okay. And then I look at Twitter, like all I see is Ed. We did it. I'm like, great. What did he and Ed do? I've seen the Dead Zone. I know what happens.
Man. So what we did was we decided we wanted to do something for the Nintendo Direct.
Okay.
And kind of like Tuesday, or was it Tuesday? Tuesday, yeah. Ed told me that the Direct was happening. And I was like, well, what do you want to do? He's like, we should just do like a mini video session. And I'm like, okay. I was like, or since we still consistently get emails about bringing Palblock back. Consistently, every week. We're like, we could do that if you want. So, yeah. We decided to bring it back.
Cool.
So it's back. What we're kind of doing it different though. Since Jesse's not involved, we're doing it during the week as like a live show on our Mixer channels. So, and then it'll be up in podcast form at some point. But we just wanted to do it as like a live show type thing during the week, and then after after the show, we're gonna play some Nintendo games after the show as like an after show and hang out with the chat and everything. So that's the plan for that. But yeah, it's kind of back. Surprise!
Okay, that's cool.
Surprise!
That's cool. I just want to make sure you're not burning yourself out. That's all.
I know. But I did see that the website is now broken, so I have to go in and fix that now. So
Awesome.
yeah, no, it's not awesome. It's
sarcasm.
It's the opposite of awesome. It's like Shostum.
Okay.
Literal Lucy over here. So I do remember last episode we were talking about giving away something, but we brought it up at the very end.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a giveaway now.
Okay. You want me just to blurt it out? Anybody got any guesses?
Death Stranding.
I got a guess.
What is it, Moose?
Wait, you already do it. Never mind. I have no guess because I think you're already doing the other one. Never mind.
Death Stranding.
Nope.
No.
For the month
Here's
of
5.
Nope. For the month
Medieval.
for the month of October,
Luigi's Mansion.
Nope.
It's Luigi's Mansion. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Nope.
We already did Astral Chain.
Nerds Gone Rogue is giving away Modern Warfare
Oh.
for your platform of choice.
Okay.
When's it drop?
October 28th. So you got 6 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. 6 semanas, I think. That's how you say that in Spanish.
Yeah. So
Why I went there? No idea. Cool. So we're giving away Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Yep.
What you need to do, I do know this part, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. You need to subscribe to us on whatever podcast service or streaming service you choose to subscribe to podcasts on. You need to screenshot that and send it to us at nerdsgoneroguepodcast@gmail.com. Also, if you write a review for us on said service, that's a second entry. Also, I do believe if you subscribe to us on YouTube, and then is there what's the thing that where they can get 4 entries? What am I missing?
Well, it was Twitch,
YouTube,
but
YouTube podcast service.
we're kind of in that not twitching right now. So.
Oh, okay. All right. So you can only get 3 entries this time out.
Yeah,
so,
only 3 entries this time,
okay,
but it's fine.
so-
You know what? Three's a lot, right?
I mean, according to some, 3 is the magic number. And I learned a lot from 3 being the magic number when I was a kid. I miss Schoolhouse Rock. Anyway, so subscribe to us on YouTube. Subscribe to us on your podcast service of choice. Write us a review on your podcast service of choice. Send it all, screenshots and otherwise, to nerdsgoneroguepodcast@gmail.com. And that's how you get up to 3 entries to win the next Call of Duty game, Modern Warfare.
Which I hear is supposedly going to be pretty good.
I've heard a lot. I mean, I've heard enough that I'm like, huh. Am I really considering Call of Duty again?
No. No.
Please God, no.
I mean, Blackout's pretty fun.
Blackout was fun. Blackout was fun. Blackout was fun, Moose. You had fun. You had fun with Blackout.
But no. You have Control to play. You have Remnant to finish. You got.
I really want to play
stuff to play.
I still haven't
playing Call of Duty.
I really want to play Remnant and Control.
Control was pretty good,
but I can't right now. I can't.
Oh, then you know what? Let's start there. Moose, game time.
Game time!
Woo!
Sorry, that was loud.
Yeah.
I forgot there's a sleeping baby. I gotta be quiet.
Sorry.
Yeah, so,
Getting excited.
So Moose,
Yes.
you and I did some co-oping today.
Yes, we did. We did do
So,
some copying.
you, me, and a wonderful gentleman by the name of Cup of Sugar on
Yes.
PSN.
Yes.
We,
Shout out to Cupo Sugar for
we
carrying
took
our
Remnant
heavy
by
asses.
storm.
Well, he did. We were just
was-
along for the ride.
I mean, granted, we were definitely just two noobs, huddled in his backpack
Although
as he took us through.
although I feel like we got better when he went to bed, and me, and you and I were just trying the final boss over and over and over again, and we were getting better and better at it. We were making it into his second phase, and then trying to figure that out. Like, we knew what we had to do, which is really weird. Like the final boss fight. Like, I think it's pretty cool. I like the puzzle mechanic of it. I agree with your statement about that. Like, I kind of like the way it works. It's just, I think my problem is, like, I'm just trying to like approach it too much like a shooter, like a regular shooter. Put like 2-3 bullets in something, then it's dead. And it's gotta be like, I gotta remember, it's like Division, where it's like they take like a crap ton of bullets to die. And then my only problem with it is, like, it's kind of like the Division, where stuff just like spawns right next to you and you don't even know. So like you've cleared, like you've even done like a scan, and like, so it's like your head almost has to constantly be on a swivel, and so it's almost like the game is kind of trying to artificially make the boss fights longer, and it's like when it doesn't need to be that. But then also, the way the final boss works, it's like one person keeps him aggroed, and then the other person takes care of the ads, and then they both do damage to him, and rinse and repeat until you can get him in his second phase. But it, like, once you and I were kind of like, oh, hey, ads are to your right, I'd run and take the ads while you had aggro, or you would tell me, you'd be like, hey, they're on your left, because like they would spawn randomly in the arena. But like once we got to communicating where they were, that's usually where they didn't seem to like be like right next to you. It was just like, it was like when you would go down and I would have to come revive you or something, like then we would lose like, where are they? And their spawning wouldn't be like, okay, they're over by me or they're over by you, or here or there. Like they would just start like moving all over the place. And so it was kind of an interesting fight. And then we just got to the point where you had to go to bed, and I was just like, I'm getting frustrated, I'm hungry, so I think it's time to call it. But we got pretty far. I think the second phase is, once we learn that and get that down, we should be fine. Like, I think what we're gonna need to do is like try and work on that first phase until to the point where like we don't have to res anyone. You know what I mean? Like, the only thing that's going to screw us up is the only thing that's going to screw us up is the RNG. Like, because sometimes it does screw you up, because like he's got that attack where he launches the missiles or the whatever into the air, and the energy missiles or whatever he's using, Psyche or whatever, and they'll either target the person that has his aggro, or they can just randomly go to the other person. And so, like, I think I went down like multiple times because I thought they were going after you. So I would just keep shooting him, or I'd try and take on ads, when it's like, anytime he does that attack, we just need to be rolling, like constantly rolling, running, because your survivability is more important than like trying to do damage to him, because you'll get his damage in, and as long as you're dodging his attacks and taking care of the ads when they spawn, you're good to go. So and then the second phase is just really trying to figure it out, because I'm still confused about how we're supposed to handle coming out of, the shadow realm or whatever realm he puts you in. And it's just like, okay, you come out, and I feel like we've done enough damage to where there should have been like an explosion to expose him to like really take down his health, but it just didn't. It never happened. And I'm like, that's really weird. So like, you must have to be in there and kill like, I know Cup of Sugar was saying like 7 is ideal, but if you could get 5, that's fine. Like, I've had multiple times where I had 5. I've killed 5 ads in the Shadow Realm and brought that damaging buff back to the fight, and then you guys revive me, and I go to shoot him, and I mean, I'm shooting him like in the face, in his face, and it's not doing anything. I
I had a hard time going to sleep, so I was like doing some studying on that, and I learned a couple of things. One, there's a portal that you can come out of that place.
Oh, okay.
Without
So you can
being
run
dead.
to the portal if you make it.
Yeah,
Okay.
like all you have to. I think all you have to do for it to open is you have to kill one ad.
Oh, so I have seen the portal. Okay. I've
So
seen it like way off in the distance. Okay.
I thought I saw it too.
Yeah, it's like
Um,
this like white light on the ground with maybe a little beam coming up from it.
mhm,
Like it's
mhm.
like it's the size of like maybe a human, two widths of a human or something. Yeah. I
And
saw that
then
because like you said, as soon as you kill an ad, it opens up behind them. And so
yeah,
like you said, it won't be there until you kill them. Okay. Okay.
and then I think it's super specific where you have to hit, like not the head of that flying moth, but like in the chest, where like you remember the cutscene how you see the thing.
Yeah, but I know he gets put into the middle of the moth. I'm not shooting the moth in the head, or whatever it is. I'm shooting like him in the
Okay.
head where he would be, and it just like in like times I was doing like 700-800 damage. Still, his life was ticking down because we didn't cause the explosion
Yeah.
to really open up his weak spot. But it was getting frustrating. So I don't know. We'll
I mean,
try it again. At least we were making progress because when you and I first started trying it, we were like dying and weren't even getting his health. Like usually the bosses have I think 4 sections to their bars of health.
4 or
So like
5.
we
Yeah.
weren't even getting them down like into like halfway when we first started, and now we're into like really fighting deep into the second phase. But then our problem is like we've run out of
We run out
the
of
quote
Dragon
unquote
Hearts.
Estus flask, which
Yeah.
are dragon hearts. So we run out of those, don't have ways to heal each other. Like it's just so like you said, we just need to practice and become more efficient at it. So it'll be interesting. But anyways, yeah, we played a lot of Remnant, had a lot of fun running through that game. I'm enjoying it a lot. Like it is a lot of fun. It's a really great shooter. My only complaint with the game is the hitboxes. Like I will be swinging through an enemy and they don't take any damage. And I'm not talking like your melee weapons are just as powerful, if not more powerful, than your guns if you build your character right. And my character has some pretty strong melee. Has a really strong melee weapon. It's a boss weapon. And then like I've got my melee leveled up pretty well, and so I should be hard hitting. Like I should
Yeah.
be knocking them on their butts, and it just whiffs right through them. And then his ads do like a double swipe at me, and my health is down to like maybe a quarter of an inch from full. And I'm like, what the heck is going on with this? So that would be nice to see them kind of fix that. But
Well, I mean the one thing I've noticed about this game is there's a weird consistency to it. Like
Mhm.
like I mean what Jason said while he was with us. He's like, I'm just realizing that the boss is destroying his ads every so often.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, like I know that the invincibility frames in this game are super generous. So I'm thinking it's generous on both sides,
Yeah,
which
maybe.
we could argue whether or not that's good or bad, but like I feel like it's consistent. Um,
Possibly. I just
um,
and then we found that like we were talking about those game breaking glitches. Like when
if
if
you
you're
get
aiming
res
down
and
your
you're
gun.
just stuck aiming your sights,
Yeah, and then you're stuck aiming down your sights and you're like you get rezzed and you're trying to melee attack like the ads that are on top of you,
it just
and you
fires.
forget, and you're locked aim down the sight and you forget, and in like the 2 seconds it takes you to be like, oh shit, I have to aim down the sight and let go for me to start meleeing to like break the bug, the glitch. Like you're already dead. Like they've already like 4 or 5 of them taken some good swings at you and you're dead. So it's just like that was frustrating. The only time I had an issue with it was the boss fight.
Yeah.
So like that's the only time I've had an issue with it. This boss fight in particular, because other ones like you have ads and stuff like that, but if you get res and someone pulls the boss's aggro, you have like a second to step away and like figure out like what's going on and like rebuff yourself and get things going again. But like him and his ads are like right on you. So
I mean, I feel like we could. I feel like despite our frustrations, like this is definitely one of the best games of the year.
yeah, it's definitely going in probably in my top 5 for the year.
It's
That's how much
easily in mine.
Yeah, like I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and yeah, it's awesome.
The
The
what
great
else you
thing
played?
about it is it's got a great price tag.
Yeah, $40. $40. Well, and see, and what I love about this is like I feel like its use of random or procedural generation is really good. Like I like that. I like that. Not everybody has the same path to the end.
Yeah.
Are we still here, Corey?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay, just make sure.
I think Moose is trying to fix his internet.
It's not working. Like I'm catching like every other word that Matt's saying, so it's like I don't even know sometimes what he's saying. So,
Yeah, I mean, I was just saying that like I like the fact that we don't like you and I have not had the same path to the boss.
oh right, yeah, like the proceed. So, but like I have noticed dungeons like are the same for like Jason and Jeff both had the same dungeon for the first area, the first boss.
Gorefist.
Yeah, and then I believe they both had Gorefist, and then I had freaking Shroud, which was not fun. So I have not. The only way I got his part to make a weapon was by killing him in someone else's world. So, I do agree with you. I like that. Like it's procedurally generated, like drops are procedurally generated or random and stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. It like definitely makes you want to do like another playthrough to see what kind of boss you would get first. You know, going through the game. But yeah, check it out.
Yeah, the more I watch of it and the more I hear about it, the more I want to play it. Like it's seeming less and less like what I expected and more like what I would like to play. So
I mean, it's a really good third person shooter. Like it really
yeah,
is.
It's surprising like how much I'm enjoying the shooting mechanics of the game. So
Yeah, like this is easily one of the biggest surprises of 2019 for sure.
Yeah. Definitely, if not the biggest. I don't think it's one of. I think it's the biggest surprise for me as far as enjoyment goes.
yeah.
What else have you been playing?
So I had a 3-day weekend because I worked from home today.
Yeah, 3-day weekend.
3-day
Nice.
weekends are nice. So I played Remnant with you. I've been helping a friend of mine play through Dark Souls for the first time. So she's been struggling, so I helped her out. Saturday night, we streamed for a while, and then she was kind of getting, tired or whatever. I was like, well, if you know, I think I was leaving to play Remnant with you. Oh, this was last night with you and Jason. And then I just got frustrated with the game and was like, I'm tired, I'm going to bed. But anyway, so playing Dark Souls, that's been fun. I've also been playing Bloodborne.
Cat Chalmers in the chat saying hi. Hi, Cat.
Hey, what's up? That squirrel. That's why I've been helping with
Okay.
with Dark Souls. But anyways, been playing Bloodborne. I streamed that I think Saturday. Streamed a bunch of that, and then I was playing Remnant with a buddy of mine who kind of plays like you do, Matt, where it's just like let's just blow through everything. Like you don't even like get a chance to kill anything. And so I was just like, all right, so now I'm gonna try and go back to each area or whatever and kind of see what's going on. I think I'm gonna have to do another playthrough to even just get what the story's about, because it's just, I don't know. Like I missed a lot of dialogue and stuff. But anyways, And then we jumped into Bloodborne, did some Bloodborne, and then I also tried Control. I tried Control early on Saturday because I don't think Jeff was able to co-op. He was playing Sniper Elite, so he wasn't able to co-op with Remnant. And so I was playing some Control while he was finishing up a mission. I got like maybe an hour and a half into Control. I'm enjoying it. I'm liking the shooting. The only thing I'm not liking about the shooting is like when you go to crouch to get behind cover, if you aim like your gun, you'll pop out of cover, and if you let go, you'll drop back down like in the cover. But if you shoot your gun, you're just automatically standing. Like if you let go of the aiming, like your character's just standing there. And so I'm like, I don't like that's really weird to me, like why they would build that mechanic. And it's almost like an extra step to build that in. You know what I mean? It's like, just allow me to let go of the aim to like drop behind cover. You have ammo in the game, but it like regens. So it's not like you burn through it or have to find it. So you just have to like wait for your ammo to regen. And then just pop back out again. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how like heavy fights are when I have to like keep hitting. And I think it's L3 is your duck behind cover. So you're just like abusing that, or R3. It's R3 to duck behind cover. You're abusing that R3 button. But anyways, I'm enjoying the story so far. It's pretty interesting. It's a beautiful game. The shooting's all right except for the cover issue, and I'm about an hour and a half, 2 hours in maybe. So I'm looking forward to jumping back into that and playing that. And then the last game I did try today while I was doing laundry, and you and Jason, my co-host on Nerds Gone Platinum, were playing Remnant. I was playing River City Girls, which is a really fun 2D side-scrolling beat 'em up. It's really cool, like old school pixelated. It's by Arc Systems. He did it.
It's published by them. It was developed by Way Forward.
Oh, sorry, my bad. That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
I thought it was Arc
Yeah.
Systems for a while too. So
Okay. So they published it, and then Way Forward dude who does the Shanty
games. Yeah.
Shantae games, the pirate games, which are really cool side-scrolling games. But anyways,
They were largely behind DuckTales Remastered too.
I think you're correct. So, anyways, it's a cool, like, you level up, learn new moves while you're leveling, and just run through the level and beat stuff up, and
It's anime as fuck. It's so good.
Yeah. Like, I'm kind of getting a Scott Pilgrim vibe from it, just from like, because I haven't played. Like, it looks like it's got that look of Scott Pilgrim, and it's got like the the mechanics. Scott Pilgrim was a 2D side scrolling beat 'em up, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Thoroughly enjoying it. So that's been all I've been playing. So.
Okay, I'll go next because it looks like Corey had to step away. I'm like dovetailing on to River City Girls. Like, I really like this game a lot. It's very Scott Pilgrim, but we also have to remember Scott Pilgrim was inspired by River City Ransom back from, it's a long running series. But like I really don't think it's hit the high that it hit originally on the Nintendo Entertainment System. But it's a solid beat 'em up. I like that you are the girlfriend trying to rescue the boyfriend this time out. I do like the story. It's campy and silly.
I like that too, that you're rescuing the boyfriend instead of the girlfriend. I like that.
I mean, it has a really good anime ass theme song.
Yeah, and the music's in it is really good too.
Really
I forgot to mention that the music inside the game is really good.
I think the fighting is it's a little tighter than I'm used to out of a beat 'em up. I have to get used to using the block button because that's something I usually never do in a beat 'em up.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I feel like some of the stuff I'm like, oh, this is cheap, or like the fact that you can't like dodge or move out of like a combo attack. Like, once they have you in a combo attack, like, you're done. Like, they'll hit you like all three of the times that they're trying to hit you, because usually the early stage people, like their combos are like 3-hit combos, and then you fall to the ground. You're able to get up, kind of recover, and move around if you need to. But it's just interesting to me. So that's why I can agree with you on the fact of like trying to implement the block button into your mechanics. So yeah.
SA Tao in the chat says, "Hey, we in here." Hi, SA. How are you? Or Essie? I think that's how you say the name. I apologize if I'm messing that up. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for stopping by. We're so glad you're here. The next thing I'm going to talk about. Is on Switch. It's called Creature in the Well.
Ooh. Okay, do tell.
This
I'm
game
excited.
this game is interesting. It's kind of it's like a there. I mean, I think the obvious thing is pinball, like because there's a lot of ricocheting projectiles that you have to use to solve puzzles. But I think it has kind of a baseball mechanic too, because where you start is you get a sword, and you get something I think it's called a charge sword as well. What the charge does, it kind of holds the projectiles in place, so you can use actual sword to hit. And you hit the projectiles against bumpers a la pinball, and you have to build up energy, which will get you through to the next room. I don't know if it's a roguelike or not, because I haven't really died enough in it, and the times that I have died, I've basically found my way back to where I was. It's a cool little aesthetic though. It's very minimalist. It doesn't really throw a lot at you. It starts off in the mode of journey where you have to eat, where it's like every direction you have is sort of visual indication rather than saying, "Hey, go this way."
Mm-hmm.
Music is really cool. Sound design in general is really nice. It's very meditative and very sparse. I'm gonna play more of it.
Okay.
When I just like whenever I have access to my Switch, because I think I need to. I need to find any and all method to stop this Binding of Isaac disease that I have, because there's a lot that I am missing out because of it.
Yeah. No, I understand. I do fully understand. Like, I was playing Bloodborne today, or not. Well, yeah, I was playing today, early this morning.
Surprise!
And
I know you were.
guys.
I was there.
Anyways, and so I'm just like, I could be playing so much other stuff than this right now.
Mm-hmm.
But like, my problem is like we've talked about this, and it's not even just a comfortability thing. It's like I know Bloodborne, so
Yes.
it's like, okay, I have 10-15 minutes. I know what I can do in that 10-15 minutes in Bloodborne and get it done. Like, and with another game, it's like I might waste those 10-15 minutes like walking around and be like, well, I wasn't productive in doing this game. And that's why I'm kind of like, with Control, I'm like, I want at least like an hour and a half, 2 hours, like a chunk of time to sit with it and play with it, invest some time in it before, I don't want to sit there for like 20 minutes and be like, okay, well, now I'm
What
done.
do I do now?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I didn't do anything, so it's like I don't even know what I'm doing. So, I'm looking forward. Blasphemous comes out tomorrow, which has been getting some really good reviews. So I'm looking forward to that, and that like Dark Souls-ish type Castlevania, Metroidvania style game to just be able to go in and have a good time with. But yeah, I agree with you. Like, Binding of Isaac's Bloodborne's got me like Binding of Isaac has you. So it's like there's so many other things like I could be doing, but playing Bloodborne. So I don't know. It's a disease.
A couple week or two ago, like I did the same thing. I'm like, I want to start Bloodborne, and I did not even. I started a character, and I'm just going to see how far I can go, and I got through Cleric Beast, got through Gascoigne, I got through the Witches, I got through the Bloodstarved Beast. I fought my way to Vicar Amelia, but I didn't walk it, and that was inside of like I mean, it was. I mean, I know it was under 2 hours that I did all that.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm just like, wow, it's still just so easy to do that. And then Binding of Isaac on Switch is that for me.
Yeah, it's so satisfying, I think, because you're just like, oh, I made like this, and I'm thinking like, I'm hoping like that's what like Borderlands 3 will help break me away from that, because like Borderlands 3, I feel like, okay, I'll go do a mission, okay, that's a half hour, like, you know, like, or you could just go and grind, you know, some money or whatever, some enemies for experience. So like, in that sense, you can put in the amount of time. Like I feel with like Control, I don't feel like you get a material to upgrade stuff, but I haven't really figured out the upgrading system, and I don't think there is a leveling system. It's just upgrades and mods, and so it's like I don't know how to get that. So I feel like I'm still at a point where it's very linear and it's story driven, and it's like I don't know where to go. You know, like with Bloodborne, it's like, oh, I could just go to, you know, Hemwick Eternal Lane and just grind some enemies out to get some vials or some echoes if I wanted to, you know, which I feel we'll be able to do with Bloodborne 3, where we'll be able to like get in there, create some chaos, get better with the classes that we pick, you know. So
the last thing I'll talk about is Reba and I played more Swords of Ditto.
Yes. I'm so happy y'all are playing that.
Me too. I think like she's really having fun with it because she likes that she could just get in and just start beating stuff up with a sword. I think
she should play Dark Souls.
Well, I said that, but
she probably looked at you with a side
looked
eye.
at me and she looked at me and said, "I'm a psychotherapist. I don't need that kind of stress in my life." And
she's a smart girl.
And I said fair, but we were playing that, and one thing I noticed is, and I don't like this, and I like it at the same time. When if you're ending your session and you just back out, the roguelikeness of this goes a step further. Where, sure, you keep everything you have, but when you come back in, the world is re-rolled.
No.
The map is regenerated.
Okay.
This is annoying because we have a set of quests, and those quests still exist in the game, or that we have to do. But like all of our map progress is gone, so we're like starting over just from a map perspective. So we're back to not knowing where we're going.
Yeah.
But knowing where we need to go. It's like we know what we need to do. We just don't know where it is or how to get there. I like that because part of my enjoyment of a lot of roguelikes is the exploration. I think that provides a pretty interesting feedback loop. But when you only really have the stamina for an hour or two at a time, and Swords of Ditto is relatively easy where we are not dying at all. It's sort of like, okay, so we've made this progress but not done anything. We did, however, find like a dojo, and we stomped the fuck out of that dojo. We found people that wanted to swap stickers with us, so we got trophies for that. So we were doing little things that got us forward.
Yeah. You're making some progress, but not as much as you think you should be.
Yeah, exactly.
If they didn't procedurally regenerate the world on you. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Which, yeah. And but that's still a fucking cool game, man. It really is. It's Zelda as a Saturday morning cartoon. And there's like a bit of costume quest in there, if you remember that game.
I do. They made 2 of them.
Yeah. I actually never played 2. I wanted to, but then I'm like, I kind of think there's no way they're going to strike that kind of lightning twice. But
I've heard things about the second one where it's like, oh, if you like the first one, you'll like it, but it's like you said, not as good. You know,
it's one of those times where more of the same is just not the greatest. And yeah, that's it for me. So Corey, what have you been playing?
I played a little bit of Gears 5, which I didn't get to play a whole lot of it, but I am really enjoying it. As you know, someone who played Gears 4 very recently as well, it feels a lot better. It feels more responsive. It feels, it just feels better, and that was my concern going in. I was like, is this just going to feel like more Gears? Which, in a way, it does, but it feels like more refined, updated Gears as opposed to like, just more Gears. And
Yeah.
one thing I really, really like about it is that it's super colorful, unlike the past games. It's the opening area is full of like green jungles and overgrown. It kind of reminds me of like how remember in the second Jurassic Park movie when they get to the island and like all the buildings have like growth on them and you see like the light peering through the broken glass and everything. Like that's kind of what it reminded me of, that first mission. And moving through the cities and stuff, it's just a lot more colorful than past Gears. And the weapons feel really good. They kind of tweaked the way that weapons worked. Instead of reticle bloom, they gave the guns better kick, and it feels really good. So
Now,
I was trying to read your mug, Matt.
oh, it says world's greatest #1 podcast. And
Oh, is it the Giant Bomb one?
it's
Giant
the
Beast Cast?
Giant Beast Cast one.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I do want to ask on this show, and I think it was you specifically that said Gears felt outdated as a cover shooter. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Does Gears 5 address that?
Yeah, it really does. It addresses a lot of the issues that I had with 4, and part of me is really wondering if the kick up to 60 frames a second as opposed to 30 has anything to do with that. But I do notice a lot of movement changes and stuff. Like I do notice a lot of fluidity in the movement. They don't feel tanky, they feel agile, and I mean they still feel like Gears characters, but like they tweak the agility and the dodging and the way that you implement Jack, which is the little robot that hovers around with you, and like how they actually utilize
You got a robot buddy? Oh man.
I do.
I like a robot buddy.
There's actually 2 robot buddies in this game.
What?
Actually, technically, I think
You have
there's
a
3,
robot
but I'm
buddy
not.
Party?
I think there's 3, but I'm not that far yet. But yeah. So
Robot buddies in Gears.
they actually like you can command your robot buddy to grab ammo for you, to stun enemies, to snipe enemies, and like your robot has an upgrade tree to where like you can make it do different things. You can add a stealth element to your robot buddy so it can sneak around enemies and open doors and stuff for you. It's real cool.
Nice.
That's awesome.
It's real cool.
For the first time ever, I want to play a Gears game.
The thing is, though, if you haven't played Gears 4, at least, you are going to be severely lost in the story. And
I'm sorry. Meathead destroy aliens. Oh,
that's not true. There's a real
sure?
story in Gears. I think Gears has surpassed Halo in the story department for Xbox games.
wow.
In terms of like actually fleshing out characters and giving them
That's some
interesting.
dangerous ground you're treading there, Corey.
I'm not the first one to say that. They said it on Giant Bomb. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And I Gears is a series that made me get an Xbox 360 back in the day, and I've loved Gears. Although I know it's had some issues throughout the course of the 6 games. God, there's 6 Gears games. Jeez.
6 goddamn Gears games.
I know. But actually, if you count Gears Tactics, which looks super cool, and Gears Pop, which looks stupid, but I think
How you bring up Gears Pop, an angel dies somehow.
I know. But Gears is rad. I haven't played a lot of the multiplayer stuff yet. I want to get through the campaign because I know I'm going to play a lot of escape mode, which is the 3-player kind of. This is kind of the game mode that I imagine Matt would play, because it's kind of a rogue-like escape element to it, and people can make levels using assets. Okay, so it's a 3-player squad. You choose your character, right? You go in and you make your way through these levels that are you can choose user created levels, or you can choose the Gears created levels, or you can choose there's like a randomly generated set of levels where it changes every time, and you know, then you make your way through, you make your upgrades every time. Like, you start with like a base character and then you make upgrades through, and like the levels can be super long, they can be super short, but the whole point of the game is to make your way through the level before like you start in like the base of of a locust hive, and you set a bomb, right? You start by setting the bomb, and then you have to escape the hive before
the bomb goes off. Yeah,
before the bomb goes off. And like sometimes like you set a poison bomb, so the poison spreads slow, but it can catch up to you if you're not, you know, doing your job by killing locusts and escaping. Or there's a bomb there. I think there's a mode where there's just a bomb timer where you have to get out before the timer goes off. So,
you know what this sounds like? Moose, you can chime in here. Sounds like a spin on Chalice Dungeons.
A little bit, yeah.
Like just a spin on it. It's not like, it's definitely not.
Yeah, it's not exactly like it, but yeah.
Right. Like that's an interpretation. I mean, it's kind of it's. I mean, that sounds fucking interesting. It's also kind of like the generation in Remnant, where I mean, I have not played Gears, and I won't because I don't have an Xbox. But
you can play it on PC when you build your PC.
Yeah, that's true. I could do that.
I mean, I'm just throwing out.
Never say never, kids. But where like your playthrough seems to be procedurally generated in Remnant, like maybe these levels are generated in the very same way. Like you might be able to find your way through them with relative ease, but the bomb you're setting off and obstacles could be different. So that sounds cool, man. What else you got for us?
I played a little bit of Blackout. It's that is a really good battle royale mode in a game that I do not care for. You know, I haven't played Call of Duty, like I really never have played Call of Duty, to be 100% honest. But like the last time I played Call of Duty semi regularly was Black Ops 2, and Blackout mode is a very solid battle royale. Like I love Apex, and I probably like Apex more realistically if you're playing with people, but Blackout, I've been playing with Jesse and a couple of people I've met on Mixer, and we've been co-streaming it together, and like just playing as a team, calling out stuff, and you know, Jesse carrying us all the way to second place like 3 times. And tell you what, man, Jesse's really good at that game. He won't ever admit it, but he's pretty good. So
he's good, like he's good at promoting his album.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yep. So we played that. I suck, but it's still real fun. Played some more Fire Emblem. Gotta get Fire Emblem there. Downloaded Astral Chain. Haven't played it yet. I think that's really it. I played some Halo 5 multiplayer also, but that's just Halo. So I think that's really it. Gears is really the highlight of my weekend. I've been trying to like manage a lot of stuff and trying to like I've been trying to balance life and some other aspects of the podcast stuff that we're doing in streaming and stuff. So you know, I haven't really played a lot of games. I'm working on some other things like my personal website for like a portfolio type thing, and trying to
Nice.
trying to figure out why our website is broken for some reason. So that's taking up a lot of my time, and then also trying to be a dad and a husband at the same time, which is hasn't
Jobs unto themselves.
yeah. And then last week also I worked a lot more than I usually do because we had a guy on vacation, so I went in almost 2 hours early every day. So sleep was a great game to play last week. What is sleep? That's it though. I haven't really been playing a whole lot other than Gears and Blackout and some other random stuff that people wanted to play. I would hop in. So yeah.
Nice.
I also reformatted my PlayStation and re-downloaded all the PlayStation exclusives that I want to get back into and maybe play and stream a little bit. So I re-downloaded God of War and Horizon with the DLC because I haven't played the DLC yet. I played like part of it, but not all of it. And then I still want to give Spider-Man a shot. I haven't really had a lot of positive thoughts on that game yet, but
Love
whatever.
that game.
So I also re-downloaded Bloodborne and what else did I re-download? I don't know. I downloaded pretty much all the exclusive I own for it. So
Okay.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So that's it though.
Cool.
Sort of. Yeah. Yeah. Game time.
Awesome. That was a long game time.
It was, but look, we play a lot of games. We have good discussions though, man.
We did. We have these past couple weeks. It doesn't hurt that games just keep coming out, but
I
Yeah,
know.
we're in the fall stride now. Like, it's insane.
we're in
Like,
the
this week's
post-Madden
Borderlands, next week's.
tsunami of games hitting shore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to be playing Remnant and Control, but
Control.
I want to get through Gears first, and then I kind of have like Nintendo Switch stuff that I want, and then everything else goes in this pile.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. We're gonna have a Switch discussion soon.
Woo.
So let's get to questions. You wanna ask us a question? Email us nerdsgoneroguepodcast@gmail.com. You can tweet us at nerdsgonerogue. You can join our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/nerdsgonerogue community. You can ask questions in our Discord. We're Nerds Gone Rogue on Discord. You can ask questions in our YouTube chat while we're live. Go right ahead. We answer listener/user/viewer questions every show. And we have had this streak going for at least 100 episodes, which is crazy to me. But we're going to start with the man, the myth, the legend, Deshaun Malone. What is your favorite console launch of all time? And what is your favorite game launch moment?
Oh boy. Favorite console launch? I don't know. I still have pretty fond memories of the GameCube. That was a good birthday. I feel like I've told the N64 story a million times on this show. Although I didn't get it at launch, but the GameCube came out on my birthday in that year, and while I was at school that day, I was at school. I was somewhere that day. I feel like it came out on a Sunday, but I was somewhere. I don't remember. But my parents did a fantastic job of hiding the GameCube from me, and they gave it to me.
Nice.
For my birthday when I got home, and then my mom and my cousin had planned a surprise birthday party for me. So my mom told my dad to take me to Best Buy and get any 2 GameCube games I wanted and an extra controller.
Nice.
So I ended up getting Luigi's Mansion and Tony Hawk 3.
Nice.
That was a good console launch. In terms of game launch, I haven't been to a midnight release in probably over a decade, if we're going to be 100% honest. Halo 3 was pretty cool. I went to a GameStop, and there was probably like 200 people there. It was awesome. So that was cool.
Nice.
Have to
That's
say.
a lot of people.
Yeah, there was a lot of people, dude. I've never seen that many people before or since. Maybe the Modern Warfare 2 midnight release was higher up there, but
Look at Jason doing his Nerds Gone Platinum promotions in our chat.
get out of here, Jason.
Hey, it's the same family.
Nope.
I know.
Nobody
I know. I just think it's funny.
You-
That's all.
You guys don't need help.
Yeah, that's true. Moose, you want to go next?
Yeah, I'll go next. So favorite launch of a console would have to be the PlayStation 2. So I've owned consoles since like the Nintendo. So I had my dad had a Atari 2600, and then he got us, me and my older brother, a Nintendo for Christmas, and then I bought a Genesis with my own money, but not at launch. It was like after launch. So like when Deshaun asks that question, I think of like what is like the best console launch that you had at launch, like you went and got it, and that for me would be pre-ordering the PlayStation 2. So I pre-ordered the PlayStation 2 and got it. I mainly got it also because it was going to be a DVD player, and DVD players were like about the same price.
More expensive.
I think they were more, but I was into video games, and so I was like, well, it plays video games and it plays DVDs. The first DVD I ever bought was Fight Club, still have it, and so I can't remember what launch game I bought with it, but I did have, what was it, Kinetica, that racer? I think I had that. I can't remember what else I bought with it, but it was just awesome bringing the system home and like opening it up and hooking up the TV and whatnot. But then favorite game launch would have to be World of Warcraft. It would be the expansion, Burning Crusade, just because like I went to the store at midnight, got it, went home, like stayed up way past midnight, like installing it. Luckily, I think at that time I worked third shift. No, second work. I worked second shift. So I got off of work and went right to the GameStop. I got off work at 11 and went right to the GameStop. So I had like whatever 8 hours to like be able to play the game. So I installed it, and then just jumping online with friends that I made while playing World of Warcraft. That was like really my first online experience with World of Warcraft. But it was just so awesome, just like chatting with people and be like, hey, what are we gonna do first? What, this and that. And so it was a lot of fun. That game was a lot of fun. So that was my favorite game launch. Matt, what about you?
I don't think I've ever gotten a console at launch, ever.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like the one console I've engaged with at launch was Nintendo 64. And that was because I was working at Best Buy when it launched. And let me tell you, that was fucking horrifying. When you're like,
really?
Yeah, yeah, because it was my first job. I'm 15 years old. Like I don't.
Oh, this is that story. I remember this story. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't interrupt.
Like, we the day they came in, or well, actually the day they set up the demo, like that was a moment, because you're like watching Mario move in 3D and you're just like, oh wait a minute,
what is going on?
This is not what you think it is anymore. Like this is shit done changed in a real way. But then like when they actually, the day they put them for sale, like they basically evaporated off of Best Buy shelves, and then we didn't really see them again until Black Friday, and I think I had just turned 16 that year,
Oh,
And
you were a wee lad.
I was so young and dumb. It was bad. And then on that particular Black Friday, like I'm carrying the final Nintendo 64 with a couple of controllers up to the register, and a couple of gentlemen approach me and they say like, "Hey, I'll take that." I'm like, "No, you won't. I'm taking this for a lady." And then they like started offering me cash for it. I'm like, "Here's $200. I'll take that." I'm like,
Yeah.
no, there's a lady up front who has spoken for this. It has her name on it. Like, it's not how this works. Another guy comes up and goes, "I'll give you 300." I'm like, "Nah, dog, it's not happening."
Right.
In my
Right.
16-year-old Midwestern way. And those two start fighting, like throwing punches, and I'm like, basically the story ends with me having to talk to police as a 16-year-old because I witnessed this.
Yeah.
Management is like, man, and see, and this is like Black Friday stampedes were a thing, and you know, overcrowding at that time in stores on Black Friday was a definite problem.
Mhm.
But like
Everybody just
like,
shops
I'm,
online.
I'm like I think at the time I made like $5.75 an hour, and I'm watching these two just try and pummel each other for a Nintendo 64 that they're never going to get.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I looked at my manager. I'm like, I don't mean to be rude, but I feel like I'm not paid enough for this. And he looks at me and goes, "Nah, kid, you're not."
At least he was honest with you.
I mean, God bless Tom Heitkamp. He was a good manager.
Nice.
But yeah, so that was a thing. But like, I mean, the closest I've ever got to picking up anything at launch myself, console wise, was the PlayStation Vita. And I got the white PlayStation Vita with Assassin's Creed Liberation, a game I never actually played on it because Assassin's Creed. But that was that. I mean, I picked up that and Persona 4 Golden at a midnight thing on Black Friday for at GameStop, and yeah, that was a good time. And that it was pretty interesting to see like people going, "Why are you getting that?" I'm like, "What do you mean? Why am I getting this?" Like, I'm like, the Vita. They're like, "No, Persona." I'm like, "Have you never played Persona?" I'm like, "No, what is it?" I'm like, "It's JRPG. That's amazing. One of the best story-driven games I've ever played in my life." And still agree to that statement today. And then I think he says, "What game launch moment?"
Yes, game launch moment.
I don't think this was at launch, but I remember getting Sonic the Hedgehog for Sega Genesis, either at launch or very close to it, because my mom worked for a distributor where she got stuff like that early. She brought it home. She said, "Do your homework." She like yelled at me. I walked in. She's like, "Get upstairs, do your homework." Like I was grounded or something. I'm like, "What did I do?" She's like, "Just go do your homework." And I'm like, "All right, Mom, I'll go do my homework." Jeez. I come back downstairs and Sonic the Hedgehog just stood up on our kitchen table waiting for me. I'm like, "I see why you wanted me to do my homework."
She didn't want you to get distracted. She's trying to take care of you.
And I'm like, "Well played, Mary. Well played." So I went back up, played Sonic the Hedgehog, beat it within a couple hours.
Nice.
I felt like a badass. I told my friends, I'm like, "Yeah, I played Sonic the Hedgehog last night and beat it." They're like, "What?" Like, "Yeah, I'm good at video games."
Nice.
And then eventually I would learn what a good video game is, and that Sonic the Hedgehog really isn't one of them.
No.
So yeah. Probably my favorite.
Nice.
Who's next? Or is that it?
That was it.
I think
Next
that was
question.
it for that question. Next question.
Okay. Well, next, Patient Zero of Nerds Gone Rogue. And Megan Green is going in deep today.
Whoa.
She is. And you sent the questions, Corey. You know what this is. When it's all said and done, what do you want people to remember about Nerds Gone Rogue? What do you want people to remember about you?
Oh boy. I don't know.
Reba just heard me ask this question, and she just points to Bagel. So I guess I'm supposed to have everyone remember Bagel.
Everybody needs to remember Bagel.
Remember Bagel. Bagel's leaving because he doesn't want the spotlight. You made our dog nervous, Reba. Way to go.
I don't know. I guess I just want Nerds Gone Rogue to be remembered as friends who come together every weekend or every week and talk about games and whatever they want to talk about for an hour and a half. And you know, I hope we're remembered as like kind of being a group of people who want our friends to succeed as well, and whatever type of vision they want to have. You know, like I you know, even if like there's shows that aren't part of Nerds Gone Rogue, like we still support our friends, like, you know, Last Life or Secret Friends Unite or, you know, Overdrive whenever, you know, they aren't busy and you know, all the shows that kind of splinter off from there, you know, like we have a lot of friends that do a lot of cool stuff. And
Words unknown.
Yeah, I hope that
Apollo Streaming Championship. I'm just naming stuff now. Sorry.
I know. I mean, I just kind of hope that people know that we like Nerds Gone Rogue is there for them, you know, and helping, you know, like I don't know. I feel like we're all right people sometimes, most of the time. You know, I don't know. I don't want people to remember me at all. I just want to like hide.
I don't know how to answer that question about me. Like,
that's probably a bad thing to be on the internet then, if you don't want people to know who you are.
Yeah.
Streaming stuff all the time, making podcasts.
Yeah. Podcasting.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would want. I don't know if I want people to remember me, to be honest with you.
Matt, I'll always remember you.
I mean, I appreciate that. Like, I'm happy to be remembered, but I'm just like, I'm pretty sure there were.
I will remember you.
All right, quit.
Oh.
Okay.
Is it maybe for your love of vinyl and delicious beer? There you go.
Will you remember me?
No. Oh. I remember you, but not the song.
Oh.
You done?
Come on, that was a good music reference. You have to give me points for that.
I mean, was it a good reference or good music?
It was
an okay reference.
It was a good use of the song. I don't think the song is good.
There you go.
Let's be fair. What are we doing here?
No idea. 162 episodes, still going.
Who let us do that? That's almost 4 years of podcasting, guys.
Right. What I want, I want people to remember Nerds Gone Rogue as a place where they can hang out, a place where they could be safe, like
have a good time.
Maybe
smile. Yeah. Hopefully you smile.
Yeah,
and laugh at us.
Like, I would
laugh and enjoy life. You know,
live, laugh.
I feel like through our network of shows, we create a positive environment for anybody to exist in, and may not be the biggest thing on the planet. I don't really care to be that, but I like what we have, and I hope people remember that.
Yep.
When I walked away, I don't know if Moose said anything. Do you have any thoughts, Moose?
He thought my singing was beautiful, and didn't know why you walked away.
No. I would just say, you know, just like echo everything you both said, you know, and It's a great place to hang out and chat with friends and play video games, talk about music and movies and all kinds of good stuff. And then just, want to be remembered for loving life, beer, and burgers. Yeah.
By the way, speaking of movies, I did watch the entire Indiana Jones quadrilogy this weekend.
Cool.
Very nice. Very nice, sir.
How's Crystal Skull hold up?
I still think that it's a very watchable movie. Except for like the last 5 minutes, but there's also an hour and 45 minutes of movie before that is totally watchable and
I think so too.
Relatively pain-free.
Yeah, I think so too. I like how I still think that's the worst of the Indiana Jones movies.
Is this the Kingdom of Crystal Skull?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I love how people wanted to throw the realistic criticism at that movie, whereas some of the bullshit that happens in the first three, Sean Connery drinks from the Holy Grail and comes back to life. Really?
That's awesome.
You want to talk about how this is just completely unrealistic? Let's talk about the Holy Grail, something we don't even know exists, but we talk about. And it's just the hypocrisy that was around the criticism of that movie. If it's a bad movie and you think it's a bad movie, that's fine. But if you're gonna say, oh, there's no way someone could get in a fridge and survive a nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
Realistic or not, let's look at some of the stuff.
Let's look at Temple of Doom, where the guy literally shoves his hand through someone's chest and rips his heart out, and watches the guy watch his heart burst into flames.
Beat. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sure.
Just
all of that. Totally realistic. It's okay. It's okay to really be consistent here. But yeah, cool. You did that. Cool. It's cool you did that. I'm glad you did. Glad you had fun.
Also, Last Crusade. The best Indiana Jones movie.
Definitely. Fucking hands down. Hands the fuck down.
Also, I'm not a Nazi, but the blonde Nazi lady in that, she's all right.
Based on your tendency in Fire Emblem, I'm not surprised you find the fascist attractive.
For the eyes, not the everything else.
not the fascism.
not the part where she's a Nazi.
Straight from
throw that out there.
Straight from a Black Eagle.
Okay, I'm gonna just hide under my hood now.
That's fair. Jonah Runlin chimes in. Hey, relatively new listener, and I wanted to ask a question, if you don't mind. What are your thoughts on crunch and layoffs What are your thoughts on crunch and layoffs in the industry today and the talk of unions? Do you ever see a solid solution coming through? I think that there will be a solution, solid or otherwise. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like the union is probably a good answer here, because there are, video game executives and people of power in this industry love to masturbate with the comparison to Hollywood about how it makes more money than Hollywood. Regardless of the realism of that, because video games are a $60 entry most of the time, whereas movies are not.
Yeah.
But the reality of the film industry is profits are down there because of unions, because everybody that works on a movie needs to be paid for their work. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. Everybody from the Cory Barlogs, the Hidetaka Miyazakis, the Shigeru Miyamotos, the Hideo Kojimas, all the way down to the QA people need to be paid for their work, and they need to be paid a living wage. And crunch is fucking insane. Now, I know we've had this discussion. I'm not going to beat it into the ground. there is a point in human endurance where no matter how long you go, no matter how hard you try, you're just not effective anymore.
Yeah.
And crunch walks all over that line, crosses it, and then just keeps going. I understand that crunch happens in other industries. Get that. But crunch happens in industries where overtime is paid and people are compensated for that time. And if for some reason they can't participate in that particular time, like let's pretend for a moment Corey is a single dad. All right? And he's working on a video game that is highly anticipated. They're trying to avoid a delay. So he's working extra hours, but childcare can't stay past a certain time. So he has to go home. His job should not be in danger because he has to care for his child.
I agree.
Or like his job should not be in danger because he wants to get some fucking sleep or recharge for the next day. I mean, Moose, when you started your job, you were working redonkulous hours.
Yeah.
And
we were getting paid for it. That's the difference.
Exactly. But also, if for some reason you had to leave, like
there was no issue.
It wasn't like you were going to be fired in the next couple of weeks.
Right. We would have had a nice conversation if that was an issue. But
exactly. I would assume a lawyer would be involved.
Yes.
Like this shit with Telltale that went down, or the thing with Game Informer that went down. Like both of these issues are basically people just having the rug yanked from under them, and they are asked out of a job, and they've had no time to prepare, no time to get their resume in order, no time to look for a contingency. They're just fucked. Now, I hope that, I know that all of those people are qualified and they will find gainful employment. I just hope they find it quick enough that their livelihood is not in danger in the interim. As someone who's been laid off multiple jobs due to outsourcing, due to the economy, like, those jobs at least said, hey, in a month, your job is done. Here's severance. These people aren't even getting that. Like there were multiple instances on the Game Informer layoffs that people were on fucking vacation. They're like, yeah, don't come back.
Well,
you don't have a job anymore.
A few of them were still at Gamescom too, and they didn't even know if GameStop was going to pay for their flight home.
And like, oh yeah, also you don't have health insurance anymore. Toodles. Like no. Like and like the games industry has to have a reckoning with that.
Mm-hmm.
And Games Workers Unite, like they're looking like they have a case, and I hope they unionize. I think they unionize
too.
Thoughts, gentlemen? Anything else?
No, I think you said enough. I think.
Yeah.
I feel like if we said anything, we would just be repeating. Unless somebody wants to hear my beautiful voice. I will remember. No. Okay.
Oh Jesus! I know there are personalities on in the game space that lean conservatively, that have a lot of negative things to say about unions and how labor unions are a problem. That person that I'm specifically thinking of, the one that I'm thinking of specifically, can kind of shut up about this subject because he doesn't know what he's talking about. I know a lot of the time when unions are brought up and people working long hours or people working multiple jobs to make ends meet, there's a quote from Ben Shapiro, notorious shitbag, that is brought up a lot, where he says, oh, if you have to work more than one job to make ends meet, that's a you problem. Fuck you, Ben Shapiro. That's what I say to you.
That sounds like somebody who's never had to work one job in his life.
Exactly. And then he says, "Oh, I work. I have to get up here and talk about this." I go, "No, you have to get up there and perpetuate bullshit. Fuck you." And then I'm going to move to a positive thing because one of my favorite names in the Nerds Gone Rogue community, Hendrix Pasternak.
Mm-hmm.
How about that Nintendo Direct, y'all? And I feel like I'm the only one excited about it.
Okay, first of all, I just like to say I enjoyed the Nintendo Direct, and I was like, the biggest thing out of it for me was Xenoblade Chronicles. That's it. Everything else, I was like, okay, this is cool. This is nice. Like, I think it's because we just had like the Gamescom showcase. Like that was
the
way
indie world.
better. Yeah, so I think that's why I wasn't like as wowed about it as you are. Plus, also when you speak one of your games, a game you love, which has been shared in all caps with exclamation points in
Multiple
a bunch of chats, multiple times in a bunch of chats that we're in.
To the point where Bruce wants to strangle me.
and I'm fine. That's fine. I love that you love that game, but it's like I'm like, okay, maybe I'll pick it up on a sale and try it. Like I'm not like a day one type thing, so it's like, I'm like, okay, that's awesome. And then I think they announced this is the first announcement of the sequel, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
and
so
that's
that's
a bigger deal.
That's more excitement for you. So I understand that, but like part of me's like, okay, the games that they showed were like cool, but like I'm okay. Like Xenoblade Chronicles, well now it makes me I will pick that up on a sale, like eventually play it and then try Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but as far as other things go, I was like, yeah, I'm all right. It was a Nintendo Direct, so.
Corey?
I mean, I kind of feel the same way. It was a nice Direct. Like, I thought there was a lot of cool things shown, but nothing to be like, about, Like, I think Xenoblade being able to be played in HD for the first time is amazing because that's an amazing game. I think it's arguably one of the how do you say it? Like it's one of the best RPGs nobody talks about because by the time it came out on Wii and after that the new 3DS, like nobody played it, So I'm glad people with the system that people that can play it with a system that's popular.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah.
I think Overwatch on Switch is cool. Like, I feel like it's a year too late, almost. Like, I feel like the popularity of Overwatch, even though I still love it, like, I played it a couple weeks ago, again for a couple days, but, like, I just feel like the popularity of that game is winding down, except for, people like to watch Overwatch League and stuff, and I get it, but, like, Switch isn't exactly the place where you're going to be playing Overwatch if you're playing hardcore, but I still think like a $40 version of Overwatch on Switch is pretty cool. Like the Black Flag collection is pretty cool for $40.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Like, don't get me wrong, I'm excited for almost everything that they showed, for the most part, but like there wasn't any like wow factors for me, like Luigi's Mansion is cool, but I already know I'm getting Luigi's Mansion. I don't need to see any more of it. Zelda's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to see any more of it. Like, what would have got me excited was like a Metroid Prime trilogy announcement, or something along the lines of like, I don't know, more footage of Metroid Prime 4 or Bayonetta 3 or Zelda or Breath of the Wild 2, like that kind of like a big, huge tentpole game. But I mean, September is usually not the time you see that either. So, but it was a nice Direct. I enjoyed a lot of what was in it. I'm now eagerly anticipating the November Direct, which usually happens the day after the Game Awards. So, yeah.
Game Awards are in November? I thought they were in December.
Are they? Well, then
it's like the first Thursday of December is when the Game Awards usually are.
I'm eagerly anticipating the December Direct, the day after the Game Awards.
It'd be the 5th again this year because I think it was that Thursday. I think I'm right. I don't know. Whatever.
So
Moose, you're always right. You know what? I believe you. I believe you.
No.
I believe in you. You complete us.
yeah, no, I believe that.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I feel like a lot of my thoughts on this direct, outside of something I'm going to go on kind of a rant about, are consolidated very nicely because I echo a lot of it in NX show host Ray Apollo Williams on his YouTube channel. He did an edited reaction of the Nintendo Direct. And that was it's hilarious. It's funny when that man gets enthusiastic. It is contagious as all get out. Go find that because it is worth your time. And plus, when there's a talk about the Pokemon who can basically take whatever you can fit in its mouth, he does the best reaction to it.
Mhm.
So I get that. See, Xenoblade Chronicles, I think I played I didn't play a lot of it. I played because I played it before I got rid of my Wii U and very end of it. I didn't care for it. I don't. That doesn't mean it's bad. I just didn't care for it.
I think 2 and X are both better, but
Okay.
just me.
Also, Tokyo Mirage.
Oh yeah, that was the one game I was super excited about.
Like-
Tokyo Mirage
Okay.
Sessions is like
That like I'll be honest with you, having played Fire Emblem and bounced off of it, seeing that again, I'm like, now that I would go back to because Tokyo Mirage Sessions was fucking good. And that's another reason why I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna get into this Fire Emblem because I think it'll be fine. While I loved the characters, I didn't like the gameplay. Whereas Tokyo Mirage Sessions, which I stumble over every time I try and say it, that was fun the whole way through. Like I love that game. I think I feel like it's probably one of the 50 games I say is the secret best game on Wii U. And I think Captain Canada is probably right when he says Captain Toad is the secret best game on Wii U. I like that the Wii U is getting love on the Switch, and I hope that continues because there are plenty of games that were only available on Wii U that need a bigger audience.
There's also like them putting Xenoblade 1 on Switch shows that they're willing to do updates to games besides Wii U games, which gives me a lot of hope for specific games. Like when Xenoblade got brought over, there's 2 other games that came over with it. The Last Story, which is a really awesome action RPG that nobody played, and Pandora's Tower, which Matt, I think
those are on Wii, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like the last big games on Wii.
Yeah, it was part of like Operation Rainfall or whatever, which was like they weren't going to localize them, but they did and brought them over. Matt, if they ever did anything with Pandora's Tower, I feel like you and Moose specifically would enjoy that game because it has a lot of. It's not necessarily Dark Souls, but it feels like
Darker.
It feels that like it's a very strategic, combat heavy strategy action RPG that I think you specifically, Matt, would like because of Dark Souls. But you know, I'm not going to tell you to go get a Wii and find a copy of that game.
Right. At which point I would say, nah.
Although I do have both that you could borrow if you wanted to.
Cool.
I'll mail it out to you.
Awesome. But you'll never have my address. So
I know because you refused to give it to me.
And we're back to that. So Deadly Premonition. I've wanted this to come to next generation consoles for basically since they were announced. Like it was one of those. It was one of those games that I hope that they port that forward. I don't know if it'll ever be on PS4. I actually think that that it's only going to be Switch from now on. Before I go there, Deadly Premonition. I was talking to Jason while we were playing Neo, like late last week. It might have been the day after the direct. And I said, you know, the more, as much as I think about that game, it might actually be one of my 10 or 20 favorite games of all time. Just now, but I need to qualify this heavily. Just because of like how that game works. And I don't mean how it works from a gameplay perspective, because if I'm going to be 100% honest, that game doesn't play well. It doesn't at all. But like its story is really fucking fascinating. And even the story of the game coming into existence is fascinating, because preview builds were legal proceedings were brought in around this game because of its Twin Peaks-ness. So like people said that like, wait a minute, this might be copyright infringement on Twin Peaks. And the fact that it has like a very Persona sort of thing going on, where you can go through it, but you might not experience the entire story unless you do everything at the right time. And I think it's actually impossible to experience everything in the story, because there's always going to be two things happening in two different places, and you have to choose to go one way or the other.
Yeah.
But like Patrick Klepek on Waypoint, he said a lot of the right things, and I agree with a lot of what he said about this game. Like this is a game where like its story and its B-moviness are remembered with far more praise and love than how it played. And on this show specifically, I think all of us have always championed gameplay over all else. And this is the one game in at least for me, where it's the opposite. It's like it's the reverse, because the gameplay is not great. I mean, watching Giant Bomb talk over the direct, like they announced Deadly Premonition 2, and Jeff Gersman is just shook. He's like, wait. Like everything that came after, like there was no reaction, because they're making Deadly Premonition 2. And that was one of the first big things I watched on Giant Bomb, was them doing the endurance run of the first one. And yeah, it's a cool thing. I bought it on Switch. I haven't jumped back into it. And with regard to the sequel, I've heard that it's only going to be a Switch exclusive. That's not what I'm happy about. I'm happy that they're doing a sequel to this, not because I think it'll be good. And I think I'm going to come really close to just quoting Patrick Klepek here, but I like the fact where I like living in a world where a sequel to Deadly Premonition is going to be attempted. It doesn't necessarily, I don't think it has to be a bad game for it to be good. I would rather them swing and miss horribly than not attempt at all. Swery is one of my favorite game designers. I don't remember if it was the last episode or the episode before that where I talked about my affinity for weird. And I think when I played Deadly Premonition for the first time on Xbox 360 in like 2010. It. How do I describe this moment? It was that moment that sort of, like how the Leaning Tower of Pisa is leaning.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is
like
it?
Just don't be shitty. I'm trying to go somewhere with this. It is the Deadly Premonition is the wrecking ball that literally turned my head this way, and I saw the world a completely different way after that. I don't think Deadly Premonition would be that for anyone else, or even everyone or anyone, whatever. But I feel like in everyone's life, they need to experience that type of moment where it changes your outlook, and all of a sudden, just by turning your head a little bit, the world looks a lot different than you saw it.
Yeah.
And in terms of video games, Deadly Premonition was mine. And that's why I think this game is awesome. Not because its combat is great or the driving is spectacularly bad, but this game knows what it is, and it just goes for it in so many wonderful ways that if you tighten any of the screws, it breaks. Like if you try and clean this up, it's no longer good. Like and yeah. So Deadly Premonition is that for me. I'm so happy that I get to play it again, and I'm so happy that they're going to have a sequel, and I'm even more excited that it's next year.
Woo!
Woo!
So in short, should anybody in our audience or even on the panel tonight play Deadly Premonition? Answer's probably nah. But if you're willing to go the distance with it, you might be rewarded. And if you're lucky, you might be rewarded in the way that I was. But there are no guarantees in life. And
it's understandable.
yeah, when there was a moment when I re-engaged with Twitter, and I was retweeting. I was retweeting a lot of Swery tweets because Swery's awesome. His game from, I think it was last year, called The Missing, which is a side-scrolling platformer about body dysmorphia. About looking inward and not being comfortable with what you see. I was retweeting stuff about that, and Swery followed me on Twitter, and I basically said, okay, I'm going to say it. I'm like, look, you've made a game that affected me in a way that I could not have ever foreseen or could never be affected by again. Thank you. And he's like, and he responded, he said, I don't know what to do with that. I go, I don't know what you're supposed to do with it, but thank you. And we've not talked since, but that's okay.
I mean, at least he responded to you. That's cool.
Like he's I mean, if there are probably a select few designers that I would want to engage with everything they ever do, and I think Swery is definitely one of those. I'm looking forward to other projects he has coming forward, as well as Deadly Premonition 2, and I'm definitely going to look for the Deadly Premonition special edition that is going to be put out with buttons and everything.
Buttons and everything.
Okay.
Never
I
mind.
saw pictures of it on Twitter. It's a Switch case. It has like a velvet thing going on in it.
No, buttons as in like
pins.
Pins. Got it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was like, what, extra buttons on your controller? What is happening?
No. Now, also, the direct reignited excitement for Daemon X Machina for me, and I downloaded that prologue, but I have not started playing it.
That demos or the prologue that progress carries over, right?
No, yes, it does.
Yeah,
That's
it
cool.
does.
Yes, it does.
And I'm actually enjoying it more than when they put the first demo out. So
Well, yeah,
That's good.
I think Austin Walker was on the Beastcast this week, and he was saying, yeah, they made that better, and there aren't very many people who know as much, if not more, than mech stuff than he does. He says it's good. Chances are it's probably good. So I'm still excited for that game, and it's just another reminder that too much shit is coming out.
It's true. Too
Mhm.
much. There are too many games. I need everybody
It
to
is.
slow down so I can enjoy the games that I currently have. And
I like. I think while we were playing Remnant, or while we were playing Neo, Jason Marshall from Nerds Gone Platinum, he brought up. He's like, every game developer should get together and decide a month that they're just not going to release games. Just say, hey, this is this 1 month a year, no one releases games, so the entire gaming community can catch up.
right.
And while I agree with that, but it's only a matter of time before capitalism would kick in and say, hey, no one's releasing games right now.
We'll jump in here and cash in.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yep.
summer used to be that, and now it's just not.
Yeah.
So
It's a good point. That is a good point.
now we're getting like major games in the summer.
Yeah. But that's all our questions. And I think it's time we get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we can do that.
This has been episode 162 of Nerds Gone Rogue. Thank you for stopping by. We're so happy you're here. My name is Matthew. You can find me at infinite_rewind everywhere I want to be, except Mixer, where I am Zero Suit Rewind.
I don't understand that.
Where can we find you?
Not on Mixer because I didn't know we were making.
I joined Mixer so I could follow this chucklehead.
I'll have to do it too.
And then I saw him streaming with Battlebug and Zombie Killer and
Oh yeah. Okay.
and so I followed them too. And now it's a thing.
You're in a
thing.
rabbit hole now.
It's a
You're just
thing.
like, this is
I
what
don't
I
wanna
do.
watch-
now.
I don't wanna
Did you
watch
follow
Twitch
Jesse?
Yeah, I followed Jets. Come on.
I don't know. Just asking.
I think I followed. You know what? I'm not going to commit to that. I'm pretty sure I did.
I'm not gonna commit.
I like that. I'm not going to commit to a solid yes.
Well, let me
But I'll
find
give you,
out.
I think.
Who am I following? You go ahead. Moose, where can we find you? Besides
Besides,
not on Mixer.
you can find me at Sven on everywhere I want to be, wherever that may be. I don't know. But you can also find me, Jason, and Jeff discussing the PlayStation platform Tuesday nights. Usually anywhere between 9 and 9:30 we start. Show goes live. You can join us, join in the chat. If you cannot do that, the episode goes live Thursday mornings on your podcast service of choice, or you can watch it on YouTube. You can also send us questions, comments, and concerns to nerdsgoneplatinum@gmail.com, and you can tweet us at ng_platinum. Woo woo. Yeah,
Yeah.
Word.
that's that.
So update. I am not following Jesse. I'm trying to remedy that right now.
What kind of shit
trying to-
show is this? So, like, if
You say shit show. I say Nerds Gone Rogue.
here's my thing. Like with Mixer, if I was to make a Mixer username, isn't it tied to your Xbox account already?
It doesn't have to be, but it can be.
But no, what I'm saying is, like, if you have an account, like, doesn't it automatically convert to a Mixer account, or
No.
could somebody else steal that name?
it
So
does.
somebody else could steal that name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Your Mixer account and your Xbox Live name are different names. They
But
can
you
be-
could use the same one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Theoretically, you could, but I can't use Corey and HD on Xbox Live for some reason.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Damn Xbox Live.
I know.
So I'm trying to find Jesse on Mixer, and it's Phantom NXS, right?
There's 2 N's because he fumbled his typo, and he can't change his name for another like 3 or 4 days. So.
Okay. He is now followed.
Great job, Matt. Way to be a team player.
Hey,
Someone has to.
I never said I was good at this.
That's true.
I never claimed to be good. Except maybe bullshitting people.
Drinking beer. Good at drinking beer.
No, I'm not even good at that. I'm a lightweight. Ask my wife. She'll tell you.
Matt can't drink anymore because he works in the morning / night / whenever. What time is it? 8:40? 10:45?
It is.
I don't know.
It is 10:43 now.
Jesus. If it was
I don't
8:45,
know.
that'd be amazing.
I wish it was 8:45 because then I'd be going to bed.
Yeah.
All right.
Corey, take us out of here.
Oh, geez. Okay. You can find me at CoreyNHD713 on Twitter, CoreyNHD on Instagram and Mixer. You can also find me on plethora of other things happening here on nerdsgonerogue.com. You can find the show every Monday at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, or you can find us live that night around 8:45-ish. Usually we'll be live, but Moose and I, like tonight, just kind of we're talking and hanging out and waiting for Matt to eat a cookie or something. I don't know what was he was eating. So,
I ate this 4-layer casserole that Reba made. It was so good.
Nice.
Yeah, he woke up and he was scarfing it down.
Fried beans, peppers, chorizo sausage, cheese. Oh, so good.
Nice.
Nice. That sounds really good.
You can find all of our stuff on nerdsgonerogue.com. I have to fix it though, so you might not want to go there at this moment. But you
Wait
can
till
find
next
it there.
week. Wait till next week.
Yeah, next
Wait
week.
till next week.
Download our family of shows. Check us out. And I don't know. I'm tired. Check out our Facebook group. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. And thank you so much for watching. Be better.
We're giving away Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, we're giving away Call of Duty. Also, I want to remind everybody to hashtag be better. And until next week, we love you.
Banana and out.
You're welcome.